Wiring out a steel-framed house is not really much different to wiring out a timber-framed house. There are a few subtle differences and we need to look at those. So let's have a chat with our electrician Danny from Treiamento Electrical. So Danny, you've been a Sparky for a few years. Been working with the steel frames for long?
We've been working on steel frames for a bit over 3 years now.
You find them a challenge, or are they no different to the timber-framed house?
First 3 or 4 were a bit of a challenge, just something new, weren't used to it, just figured out ways to do things, and now they're second to nothing, you know, they're no difference to timber really.
The holes are already pre-punched in there for you. Are they in the right places?
A lot of the time they are. You get areas like kitchens and bathrooms, and obviously where you've got TV wiring and that sort of thing, you can't, you've got to put extra holes in because you can't run TV wires in with power cables and that sort of thing. So we've got a big manual punch, and if we get into corners or slightly awkward areas, we use a chassis punch, or there's some little hole saws out now that you can use that are very good as well. They cut the right size hole for our grommets and that sort of thing.
The grommets are an integral part?
Absolutely, they've got to be in and got to be fixed, they're good, otherwise you're going to get damaged cables, but once they're in they seem to stay real well.
With a steel frame house obviously, and putting wires into it, people think, oh, it's a big steel cable now, I can get electrocuted anywhere I touch. Is that a fact?
No, the whole thing is earthed. We earth the whole thing at one point and run checks around the building to make sure that it's earthed right through to the far end from where we've connected. And yeah, they're great. They're all screwed together. There's no areas where it can be remote, and cables are insulated, and the framing earthed. There's no risk at all.
The sections and the trusses, do you lie them in those sections?
We tend to run along the side of the battens and then along the side of the trusses, and we use just insulation tape and put about 3 turns around, and it just holds the cable in nice and tight, and it doesn't get the chance to get a screw in it from jibboard or anything like that.
So Danny, when you've got a flush box going on, you're using the flat steel ones?
Yeah, they're a steel one with a return on them, so you can screw to the side of the studs and that, keep it away so it doesn't push the jib out much.
If you want a flush box on the open side of the seat channel?
In conjunction with the building supervisor, we figured out if we use some open channel without the rounded lip on it, we could slip that over the stud, screw that on, then screw our box onto that, and it kept it all nice and flush.
Well, thanks very much, Danny. Let's see your work. Well, Danny's tips and information certainly made sense to me, and I hope it's cleared up any questions you may have had about wiring up a steel framed house. And don't forget to check out our other video tips on how to make holes in steel framing.
Axxis, steel for framing, the better way to build.